Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Chicks Talking Pics. And Jenny, I see you're out and about with balloons today.
Yep, I'm out in Teton Valley, Idaho. Been here for a little while and have some
Good.
really nice thunderstorms to watch in the afternoon.
How does that work with the balloon?
Well, we fly in the morning, so.
Well, good thing. I'm actually home right now. I've been home for a couple of weeks and I take off in a couple of weeks. So let's get started. It's been about a month now since we posted. Jenny and I have both been just totally busy, out and about, traveling, all that kind of stuff that you normal day stuff. So we apologize for not getting an issue out or an edition out on the YouTube channel, but here you go. We got a good one for you today. All right, let's take a look at our first image. So this is an image brought in by a friend of mine who does a really good job photographing birds. And I like this. Oh, I'm going to take the first one, Jenny.
I guess you are.
So I like this image for a couple of different reasons. I love the environmental shot, the action, the highlight in the eye, really nicely done. I like the crop. It's kind of panoramic. It's got some color in it, all of that kind of stuff. I believe this is a house sparrow. And what I'm a little concerned about is that line that cuts the image, the top third of the image off. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if I would try to change that background for that reason. But Jenny, what do you think?
Yeah, the line was the first thing, and I think it probably is like siding on a building or something, maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you could maybe blend it so that the tonal values, excuse me, equal out a little bit more, and it wouldn't be so obvious. Rather than change the whole background, just maybe blend that in.
Yeah,
so it's not as distinct.
I agree, because I'd hate to lose those little pink flowers up in the top left-hand corner, which are a little bit close to the edge, but I'll let it go. I'll let it slide this time. So, but it's a really nice representative image of a house sparrow. You don't get to see them up close like this when they're flying by your window, or but he's got something in his mouth. He's got a seed or a piece of corn maybe, or something, which is kind of interesting there. Yeah, I think it's a great image. I love it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, good. All right, nice job. Let's see how he shot it. I think we've got some information here. So 8/40th, he used 840 millimeter lens. I didn't include that in a lot of the images, so I thought maybe that was a little bit interesting. Using a long lens like that does allow you to stay away from the bird and keep your distance and not scare them off. So that might be a lesson for somebody out there that's looking to photograph birds. The longer lens, the better. And I think a 1/16 of a second is plenty for a bird that's in this position. Now, if this bird flew off and you were trying to get birds in flight, of course, that would not be high enough. You'd need to be up at a.
You put down 1/1600.
1/1600th, yeah, of a second. Yeah, and I think if the bird was going to be in flight, especially a small bird like that, you'd want it up about 1/32 to 1/4000 somewhere. Don't you agree, Jenny?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and
a lot of moving birds, so.
Yeah, right. And the aperture looks good to me. He's got almost all those plants in focus except for a couple of the little pink things. And ISO 2500. So I have to assume it was kind of a dark little area that he was shooting in. Yep. So good job.
Yep.
All right. Next one. All right. Mama See, Mama Do, Almost. That's the title of this one. I think it's very cute. Jenny, you get to go next.
It is very cute. It's got a nice little story, excuse me, going on with the baby bear sticking out the head from behind mom. Um, the eyes are a little, there wasn't a catch light there, so that's kind of a drawback. Can't always control that. There's a lot of structure and sharpness. I don't know if it's a little too much. You might be able to tone down some of that in the grasses, so they're not so, a little bit distracting with how sharp they are. You still want to keep the bare fur sharp, but not necessarily the background. What do you want to add, Sandy?
Yeah, I think you can see the plane of focus there. Right at the bear's feet and head, you can, if you look completely across the frame, you can see that grass is all going all the way through to the bear's nose and beyond, or to the sides of the bear's nose. You can see all that sharpness in the grasses, but if you could tone that down, that would be great. Keep the sharpness in the bears. And I kind of see a little tiny bit of catch light in the mama and the one bear behind. I think I do. I didn't blow it up to over 100%. When I'm doing these kind of reviews, I try not to blow them up over 100%. Sometimes I get curious, but yeah, so it's an interesting little story. I think it's really well done with 3 subjects in it. Very nicely done. Adding a vignette would be a little helpful, something that you don't notice off the top, right off the top. But I think if you add a little vignette to this, it would center the viewer's focus on the bears themselves. Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, let's see how this one was shot. So this is 1/25th of a second at f11 at ISO 400. And yeah, you're even with f11, the sharpness is falling off behind the little baby bear behind the mom. Yeah, I think that third bear in the background, the sharpness is off. But that's not to say that's good or bad. It's just the way it is. And, in the moment, I'm taking pictures, I realize, oh my gosh, I'm on the wrong aperture. And then you never can recapture that if you got moving subjects like wildlife. What do you think about the shutter speed? 1/25th of a second's really taking a big chance on that.
Yeah, well, we don't know if he was using a tripod or, and you don't have the lens on this one, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, today's cameras are pretty good on their image stabilizing, so.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Another bear image. This one's cute too. I'll take this one. Who's there? And that's the title of this one, I guess. Another cute image of the bear with just the one little cub with him, with her. Good detail. Another, not I think as strong a story as the first one, but still a nice little image. And I think, my thought is there's really nothing you can do about this, getting your background further away from your subject, which is always beneficial to get creamier backgrounds because there is a lot of grass. So I'd say add a vignette, watch that triangle up in the right-hand corner that is between the tree and the edge of the frame. So maybe crop that out or clone it or something. Jenny?
Yeah, actually, I like the engagement this one has that the other one didn't have because the little bear is looking at the photographer.
Okay.
So it has that added benefit that there's a little more engagement with this story. The pose isn't quite as cute as the poking the head out, but I think it makes up for it with actually seeing face on.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good thought. Okay, let's see how this one was shot. This one was 1/250th of a second at f11 and ISO 400. So yeah, this is fine. That's more like it. I think a little bit faster shutter speed would have gave me insurance with my equipment. Let's put it that way. But like Jenny said, the new image stabilization in a lot of the cameras and lenses, I don't know what it is. What are we talking about? I don't even know what it is anymore. Like, I don't,
5-axis is like the minimum at this point.
what's that?
5-axis stabilization is almost the minimum at this point.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Good job. All right, so let's take a comparison of the two images, just for the heck of it. I just thought I'd throw a comparison up. I don't know. I kind of like the one on the left. And I'm one to say that I don't like direct contact with the eyes of some animals in most situations, because I don't want to appear that I disturbed the animal. The one on the right to me looks like the little baby bear is now has changed its behavior because the photographer, or many maybe photographers, are standing there.
Yeah, good point. And I think in this comparison, you can see that the one on the left has a little bit warmer tone, which certainly could be added to the other one, which might actually make it feel a little, change the mood a little bit. It seems a little cold with the cooler color tone.
Yeah, I agree. Great job. Okay, let's go on to one more. We have leading the herd. So this is a nice image. Is it my turn? I think so. Unless you want to go first. Lost track. Anyway, I like this image. It's just a great environmental shot. Very nicely done. A nice kind of a crop on this. I think this is just what came out of the camera, but I like having the foreground be the bison. You know, there's a river in the middle ground. The background is kind of, well, you kind of know you're at Yellowstone. I think you're at Yellowstone here. I would say 99% you're at Yellowstone here. I think it's a little flat. I think you could bring out some more detail, but then you might thinking you would keep this moody. But I still think it's a little flat. Otherwise, I think it's composed very nicely. Jenny?
Yeah, it makes, I mean, the whole color tone and the mood makes you almost feel the coldness. That's obviously there. Yeah, the background is a little flat, and you maybe could just, instead of bringing it out, maybe go colder. You know, make it a little more high key. I don't know how that would look. You'd have to play around and see. You'd still have the place, enough detail to tell you place, but make it just a little moodier.
Yeah, that'd be a thought. Yeah, I agree with you. Maybe put it on the blue side a little bit more. Who knows? That might work out if it doesn't affect the color in the bison, and you got to watch for that. So
yeah, you could do it selectively, maybe.
Yeah, very good. All right, let's see how this one. Okay.
800.
Sorry, a little glitch on my side. Yeah, 1/800th of a second, f11 at ISO 320. Perfect. I mean, that's probably a little overkill, but I think that's fine if you can keep your ISO low like that for a wildlife shot. Yeah, super. Well done.
Yeah.
And I think we have one more. We're
Oh, yeah.
going to squeeze in here today. This was an image. It came from a friend in South Dakota. So I know this is South Dakota Badlands National Park.
Even awesome. I recognize that.
Go ahead, Jenny, you're first.
Okay. I love that. In fact, you can recognize it, but it's not sharp and distracting. The background. It just has a nice depth of field. There's a little bit of haloing around the bison, which concerns me. You can either take a brush and try and darken that, or it just might be a artifact of trying to bring out the lightness in the bison or something. The other thing is it's a little close on the right. You're kind of cutting off that last leg and tail area, and having a little more space there would be good. But other than that, and again, we have some engagement. I don't know if it's changing the behavior, but the little one is definitely looking at the photographer. So what do you want to add?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think cutting off the bison on the right-hand side was probably, it was actually maybe taken that way, and I might have stepped over a little bit or changed the position of the camera to get that fourth leg in on the bison, at least give it a little bit of room on the right-hand side. I do notice the halo, especially above the calf's back and into the adult bison's face. So against the darker background is what I'm talking about. Yeah, just maybe fix that a little bit. I have to say that this was a fairly small file when it was sent in. We like our files to be 1920 on the longest side, and this was not even close to that. So I made it larger so it would look good on the screen. So I'm giving leeway for a little bit of the unsharpness that we're seeing in the image. Yeah, I think the overall interaction is very cute. Yeah, it's a really nice shot. It's recognizable. It would be great for a postcard, something like that, for Badlands National Park. So you better check on that. So very good. Let's see what this was shot at. All right, 1/250th f8 and ISO 720. So it might have been late afternoon, I'm maybe guessing. And ISO was up a little higher than you'd normally want it, because that does introduce noise. We know that. F8, I think you were, spot on. F5, 6, 8, whatever it takes to get both of those bison in focus, in sharpness. And 1/250 of the second, again, that's on the edge for me. That's on the edge of what I would be shooting that at, because you never know when that bison's tongue is gonna come out, or he's gonna move his head or something like that. So yeah, very good. All right, I think we've got all of them today.
I think so.
Yeah, so if you're interested in having us review your images and the discussion that you've seen today, send your images to chickstalkingpics@gmail.com. And again, size them on the 1920 pixels on the longest size. If you know how to do that, that would be great. And then we will take it from there. Send it in a JPEG format if you wouldn't mind.
And so that you do catch our next episodes, we'll try and stay on schedule for a while now. Go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button and the little bell with the all to get notified.
Yeah, great. Nice to see you again, Jenny. It's been a while. So
yeah,
we'll try to catch up on the next episode after this one. Okay, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Bye.